Trust Thomas. Thomas the Tank Engine was feeling bright and cheerful. It was a splendid day.
Hello, Thomas.
Hello, Percy. I see you're going to work at the harbor today.
I am, Thomas. I have a lot to do. See you later.
Okay, see you later, Percy.
Next, Thomas saw Birdie.
Hello, Birdie. Come for a race today?
But all Birdie could say was,
Ouch! That's another hole on the road.
Ooh, I'm sorry to hear that, Birdie.
smiled Thomas. Thomas was in good spirits when Birdie arrived at the next station.
Bad luck, Birdie. So if you're a steam engine, you will run on a pair of reliable rails.
Replied Birdie.
The railway was supposed to deliver tar to mend the road. You can't trust a thing that runs on rails.
I run on rails. You can trust me, Birdie. I'll see if I can find out what's happened.
And Thomas puffed away towards the big station. James was snorting about in the yard.
It's not fair. Percy has to go to the harbor, and I have to do his job here, there, and everywhere. Take that!
Oh, groaned the freight cars. Just you wait. We'll show you. Gordon laughed. I'll tell you what, James. If you pretend to be ill everywhere, you could shunt freight cars here or go to the quarry there, could you?
What a good idea.
Agreed James.
Look, here comes Thomas. I'll stop pretending now.
Thomas was sorry to see the engines looking so miserable.
Cheer up, you two. It's a beautiful day.
Yes, grumbled Gordon, but not for James.
What's the matter with James, Gordon?
He's sick, replied Gordon.
Yes, he is. I am.
Started James.
I don't feel well at all.
Don't worry, James.
Said Thomas kindly.
I'll help out if you're ill.
Gordon and James sniggered quietly to each other.
It's Thomas the Tank Engine, hip 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 hooray! Chugga chugga chug chug chop chop chop, he rides along the way. And when you hear that whistle, it can only be one train. Your favorite little engine, Thomas is his name.
Thomas the Tank Engine rolling along. All of his friends will be coming along. Thomas, we love you.
Some of James's cars were called behind Thomas and he steamed away to the quarry. But the cars were still cross. We couldn't pay James back for bumping us, so we'll play tricks on Thomas instead. One engine is as good as another.
Just clap, clap, clap and sing along. Thomas, we love you.
But Thomas didn't hear them. He collected all the stone from the quarry and then set off back to the junction.
Thomas the Tank Engine rolling along. All of his friends will be coming along. Thomas, we love you. Thomas, we love you. Thomas, we
Danger lay ahead.
Now for our plan, giggled the cars. Go faster! Go faster!
Slow down, called Thomas's driver and applied the brakes. Poor Thomas stood dazed and surprised in a muddy pond as a toad eyed him suspiciously.
But my buffers!
Muttered Thomas.
The day starts so well, too.
Doug pulled away the cars while Nia helped Thomas back to the junction. Suddenly, Thomas remembered the missing car. He told Nia all about it,
That's strange, Thomas.
said Nia.
A car full of tar has been left at Edward Station. That must be it. I'll make sure to get it to Birdie after I take you to the junction.
Thanks, Nia.
Later, James spoke to Thomas.
I'm sorry about your accident.
He muttered.
And so is Gordon. We didn't mean to get you into trouble.
No, indeed, spluttered Gordon. A mere misunderstanding, Thomas. All's well that ends well. Just then, Bertie arrived. He looked much more cheerful.
My road's being mended now.
Oh, I am glad to hear that.
Replied Thomas.
Thanks for all you did. Now I know I can trust an engine, especially if his name is Thomas.
Gordon and James puffed silently away to Titmuss Sheds, but Thomas still had company.
Well, well.
He sighed.
What a day for surprises.
The toad, who was looking forward to a ride home, noisily agreed. Thomas's new trucks. It was a busy, bustling day on the island of Sodor. The engines in the freight cars were working very hard. Thomas was shunting freight cars in the yard, but his cars were old and rusty. It was very hard work. Then James arrived.
Look!
James puffed proudly.
The factory has given me some smart new trucks. They're much nicer than yours.
It's not fair.
moaned Thomas.
I want new cars, too.
The next morning, Sir Topham Hatt has a surprise for Thomas. Thomas, your trucks are getting old for your heavy loads. You ought to have some new ones just like James. Thomas was delighted. Thomas collected his new freight cars and puffed proudly away. But when Thomas arrived at the docks, there was James. He was showing his new freight cars to Bill and Ben.
I've got new freight cars, too.
Puffed Thomas. They're even nicer than James is, puffed Bill and Ben.
Your trucks may be nice and new now,
Huffed James.
but you'll never keep yours clean as mine.
Yes, I will.
Chuffed Thomas.
I'll have the cleanest freight cars on the island.
James watched Thomas puffed away. The next day, Thomas puffed into the quarry. James's cars were already loaded,
I've got my stone already,
boasted James.
and not the spot of the quarry dust on me.
I can do that too.
Pouted Thomas. So Thomas backed under the hopper. But just as the stone was released, Thomas's freight cars chuckled. Then they rolled a bit more.
Bother!
Huffed Thomas. Puffed James.
Your trucks don't see look new now.
Thomas was cross. Thomas puffed to the coaling plant.
This time, behave yourself.
Thomas snapped.
I want you to stay clean.
When he arrived, Thomas backed carefully and slowly under the coal hopper. But the freight car chuckled. Then he rolled too far again. Thomas and his freight cars were dirtier than ever. Later, when Thomas arrived at the washdown, there was James.
See? I got the neatest trucks you'll ever have in these hours getting yours cleaned.
Laughed James. Thomas was very cross. The next morning, when Thomas puffed into the yard, he had an idea.
If I use my old trucks to take the coal,
He huffed.
my new freight cars will still look clean and new. That's it!
So Thomas backed up to collect his old trucks. He collected some coal from the coaling plant. Then he raced across the countryside. Laughed Thomas.
I could get these trucks really messy and get the coal to the docks on time.
Then there was trouble. The rusty coupling broke. Thomas's trucks were rolling by themselves.
Cinders and ashes!
Cried Thomas. Thomas applied his brakes, but he stopped too quickly. The trucks bumped into the back of Thomas and the coal spilled all over the tracks. Thomas was stuck. Soon, Sir Topham Hatt arrived on Harvey. Thomas, these trucks are too old for pulling coal, Sir Topham Hatt said sternly. And now you have caused confusion and delay,
Sorry, sir.
said Thomas. Harvey and the workmen soon cleared the trucks. But Thomas still had to deliver the coal to the docks, so he raced back to the shunting yards. And this time, he collected his smart new freight cars. Harvey and the workmen loaded the coal into Thomas's freight cars. The new cars were still filthy, but they were filled with coal and ready to go, and they were very happy. Thomas raced to the docks. Suddenly, the trucks were being troublesome. They rolled easily uphill. They rounded quickly down the hill, and they sang all the way. Thomas raced into the docks. "We need to unload quickly," the dock manager called. "But don't worry, we'll try and keep your new freight cars clean,"
That's okay.
puffed Thomas.
My freight cars would rather be useful than clean.
Just then, James puffed into the docks,
Look at your filthy, filthy trucks.
boasted James.
Filthy again! Not like mine!
James tried to pull away, but his troublesome trucks didn't want to be clean anymore. Hold back, they chuckled. Just then, Cranky's cable snapped. He dropped a large crate of melons.
Bother!
Puffed James,
James,
tooted Thomas,
I think freight cars like to be useful rather than clean.
and all the tracks agreed. Thomas the tank engine was ill. Workmen tried to make him better, but it was no use. "Edward will have to take you to the works." Thomas felt very miserable. Then, Sir Top Hat spoke to Nia. "Nia, I want you to help Percy and Toby while Thomas is away."
Of course I will, sir. I will do my best for my friend Thomas.
"That's a good engine. Now off you go, Nia."
Take care of Thomas's coaches, Nia. He's sure to miss them while he's away. Don't worry, Emily. I will.
When Thomas came back, Annie and Clarabelle told him how well Nia had managed. Thomas was so pleased to be home that he soon forgot to be jealous.
Thanks for your help, Nia.
You're welcome, Thomas.
The works have left Thomas's handbrake very stiff. It made his brakes seem as if they were on, when in fact they were not. As a result, he and his coaches often overran the platform. Thomas found this most embarrassing. Gradually, his driver and fireman learned to be extra careful. But one day, Thomas's fireman was ill and a relieved man took his place. The fireman had fastened the coupling and joined the driver and the station master on the platform to wait for Henry's passengers. The fireman had forgot all about Thomas's handbrake. Thomas simmered happily.
Not long now.
He thought, as he saw Henry slowly approaching. But Thomas's brakes were not on, and suddenly he felt his wheels began to move. He tried to stop, but he couldn't do it without his driver or fireman. He tried to whistle a warning, but he couldn't do that either. The conductor, driver, fireman, and passengers were stranded on the platform. Nia, Thomas is a runaway. You have to stop him.
Don't worry, I'm on my way.
Somebody help me, please. I can't stop.
Don't worry, Thomas. I'm coming.
I'm glad you're here, Nia, but please stop me.
I'm trying, Thomas.
Nia used every ounce of steam she ever had. At last, she caught up with Thomas and slammed on her brakes as hard as she could.
Phew. Thank you, Nia. You saved me.
Good thing I came to stop you, Thomas.
The next day, Thomas came to see Nia with Sir Topham Hatt.
Thomas, your brakes are fixed.
Yes, they are, Nia. And Sir Topham Hatt wants to talk to you.
Indeed I do. Nia, I heard you rescued Thomas when he was a runaway. Well done, Nia. You saved Thomas from a close call. You are a really useful engine.
Thank you, sir. I'm just glad to be helpful.
Good job, Nia.
As a reward for your heroic action, Nia, you can have a new coat of paint. Nia just beamed. One early morning, Sir Topham Hatt came to the train yard. Good morning, Thomas, he said. I have big news. We're adding a passenger train to one of the freight branch lines. Because you have been doing such a good job, we want you to pull the new train once a day. Thomas felt proud. There would be new tracks to ride on, a new platform to stop at, and a new station house to see. All for Thomas. Of course, there will be more passengers, said Sir Topham Hatt, and more work.
Oh, don't worry.
Thomas told him in a boastful way.
I can do it. It'll be easy.
The other engines weren't so sure. You must go slowly at first, Edward said. You must listen to your driver and be careful not to get lost. Thomas was too excited to pay attention to old Edward.
He might have trouble with new tracks, but not me. I am a really useful engine. That's why I'm getting at the station.
The new passenger train was to start running the very next day. This is a very important event, Sir Tom Pat told everyone. People will be coming from miles around. Thomas wanted to look his best, so that afternoon he was carefully washed down. Then he got a bright new paint job.
Now I look shiny and new. I look just the way a really useful engine should.
The next day, when Thomas' paint was quite dry, his coaches, Annie and Clever, got into place. The driver climbed into the cab and they were off. Clickety-clack, Thomas was heading for the new station. Make sure you read the signs along the tracks, Sir Topham Hatt called to him. Remember, Thomas, this is the new way for you to go. Edward shouted after Thomas, too. Be careful, he said. You don't want to lose your way. But Thomas wasn't listening.
Beep, beep,
he said as he chugged along.
I know what to do. I know what to do.
Soon Thomas picked up speed. Clackety-clank, clackety-clack. Slow down, said his driver. We have to be sure we are going the right way. But Thomas only went quicker. He did not listen to Sir Topham Hatt. He did not listen to Edward. And he was not going to listen to his driver.
Beep, beep,
He said.
I know where to go. I know where to go.
Now Thomas was going even faster. He whizzed past houses. He sped past farms and lakes. Clackety-clack, clackety-clack. Signs went by in a flash. Slow down, his driver said again. We must read the signs. But Thomas didn't stop to read them. He wanted to get to the station as fast as he could. He wanted everyone to know he was a really useful engine. Soon, Thomas grew tired. He slowed down just a bit and looked all around the countryside.
Oh my,
Said Thomas.
where am I? I didn't listen to the Topham Hatt. I went on my driver. I didn't even read the signs. I wasn't careful at all.
Clackety-clack, clackety-clack. Thomas came to a stop. He felt just awful. Sir Topham Hatt was waiting for him at the new railroad station with all the new passengers. And where was Thomas? Lost?
Maybe I am not a real useful engine after all.
Thomas said sadly. Then Thomas sighed, and a puff of smoke billowed out of his smoke box. Is that you, Thomas? Cried a voice in the distance. It was Sir Topham Hatt coming around the bend. I saw your smoke. Now move along. Everything is ready,
Beep, beep.
said Thomas. And Thomas hurried along the tracks. Cloggity-clack. Hooray! Hooray! The passengers shouted when they saw Thomas. Flags waved in the air, and a band began to play. Sir Topham Hatt said, Everything on board. All aboard, Thomas. Thomas smiled. He was in the new railroad station, and just in time. But then Thomas looked at his driver. He looked at Sir Top Hat. They did not look pleased, and Thomas knew something still wasn't right.
I'm sorry.
He said to both of them.
I should have listened. I should have been more careful. Then I would have known I wasn't lost. I would have known I was going the right way all along.
Back at the train yard, Thomas said the same thing to Edward.
I should have listened to you.
He told his friend.
I should not have gone so quickly.
Now Thomas was happy. He knew next time he'd do it right. Next time he'd be a really useful engine. And sure enough, Thomas was clackety-clack, clackety-clack. The following day, Thomas ploughed carefully along the new tracks and headed straight to his new station.